There's Mike with Middleton Motorsports. We're going to be installing stainless brake lines and race brake fluid on this 2018 M3 CS here. Got the Redline RL600, beamer rolled stainless front and rear lines, and we got the heat shields that we put right next to the caliper to help protect the lines. We're going to start by lifting this vehicle up in the air. Alright, so I'm going to be installing the front brake lines now. Converting them over to stainless steel. This car is going to be at the track, so this is something we want to get upgraded. Brake pedals can get a little spongy with the hot fluid, so we're just going to take care of this before we take it to the track. So I'm going to start by removing the brake line up top here. This is the one you got to start with, because the nut spins on here. Next, we got a little spring tension clip we got to pop off in the center here. And now we disconnect it from the caliper. The reason you have to do the top line first is because this one you have to spin the entire line to get it off, which you wouldn't be able to do that if that top line was connected. Careful not to get brake fluid on anything because it will take paint off. Alright, we're going to open the new lines. Both the same. Start by screwing into the caliper. You gotta twist the whole line as you're installing it. Stop there. Just gonna give it a quick snug. Slide it through here. Put that clip back on there. Oh shit. It's not long enough. Yep, we're gonna have to come back to this.
24 hours later.
Alright, so it's the next day. We got some brake lines that were just mispackaged, but luckily we get them overnighted from Japan.
Overnight parts from Japan.
So as you can see the difference, the other ones are just too short. So we're gonna go ahead and install the correct brake lines now. Make sure there aren't any kinks in the line. Get it lined up in that bracket there. Got the new clip they supplied. Got that in there. And now the line fits. Always make sure you get these started by hand. You install these brake line heat shields, prevent it from getting any radiant heat, and help prevent any brake line failures. Alright, so we're going to start with the rear brake lines here. See, the brake line connects right here, and then on the back side of the caliper at the center here. Now you're going to start by removing the top one first here. Alright, so now once you have this removed, then you can remove it from the caliper. Alright, so now we got to remove the line from the caliper. So we have to remove it up top first, because now when you have it here, you got to twist this off. Alright, we got an insulation sleeve, which we're going to wrap around the brake line right where it connects to the caliper to protect it from heat, and it's also going to help protect the fluid also. Alright, we're going to be using our red line brake fluid. We got our pressure bleeder here, so we're going to fill this up. Alright, now we got to hook it up to the vehicle. Alright, now we got the machine on, we got it turned to 25 PSI. Now we can go bleed the brakes. Alright, so with brake bleeding, you always start with the furthest caliper away from the master cylinder, which is the right rear. So it's going to go right rear, left rear, front right, front left. We got a lot of air bubbles right now because we got a lot of air in the lines. We're going to go until we got a nice stream of brake fluid with no bubbles. We're going to go at least to this first line on this jug here. Alright, so we're going to go until we get to this first line here on the first caliper. Then every other caliper we go to the next line. Alright, we're on the last caliper here. We'll always start with the inner bleeder and then the outer bleeder. Now we want to go test drive the vehicle, put it back up in the air, and just make sure none of the lines are leaking after a couple of good hard brakes. Alright, so we've taken the car for a test drive, activated the ABS a couple times, make sure the brake pedal feels nice and stiff. So everything's good to go for the track next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe and stay tuned for some more content.